Hello students, let's consider this question number 14. It says a block of mass capital M can slide on with it without friction on a horizontal floor. A small ball of mass M is suspended by means of a string which is inextensible, length L, from a hanger, and this from the vertical pole. This figure is there. So in this figure, this capital M is the mass of this block and small m mass is of this ball, and this placed on a horizontal frictionless surface, and this string is horizontal. This string is connected with this hanger. There is a hanger. So that's a three-dimensional arrangement, and it says like this ball can swing freely in the vertical plane. So this ball, if you release from horizontal direction, it will go and will be following this vertical circle, or may follow the path of this vertical circle. The ball is released from the horizontal position. Yes, it is being released. Find the maximum tensile force in the subsequent motion on this string. So let's proceed for solving. That is solution. This is initial position where it is, right? When you release, it's going to consider this as a center point, and it's going to move in a circle. While this is moving in a circle, the string is moving in a circle, the block is also going to move because it is on the frictionless surface. So point is, this path will not be as drawn over here with respect to ground. If we look at this with respect to block, it will appear like this. Now if we look from the block perspective, then you'll find whenever this string is going to go this lowest position, it will acquire certain velocity with respect to block. And let's say that velocity acquired is v. This length of the string is going to behave like a radius. So here we can see that with respect to block, it will be in a vertical circle. And we know in vertical circular motion, so let's talk about with respect to block first. So with respect to block, that is capital M, how the motion is going to be is going to be kind of this circle, vertical circle. That's going to be center. String this ball comes here. This is the velocity v. This is the radius, which is length equivalent. It was dropped from a horizontal position. It may complete the circle or not, but when it is coming in the subsequent motion, you'll find this is the location where the tension in the string is maximum. You know that. So if this is the tension, you'll find it is going to experience or balance this mg force along with this centripetal force, which is mv, or centrifugal force. This is mv square by L. So we can say T max value, maximum tensile force, T max, in the subsequent position is going to be at the vertically lowest position. That's a standard result I'm using. And it's going to be equal to mg plus mv square by L. Now mg is something known to us. If we are able to find this v velocity, we will be able to solve this question. Now for that matter, we will work from the ground perspective. So with respect to ground, that means earth. If we look from the ground perspective, right? So let's say when this arrangement, in this arrangement, this ball comes to the bottommost position, this ball is going to have certain velocity. Let's say that velocity is v1. I'm writing on the same picture. So this is, let's say, v1. So this velocity is v1, and let's say this block moves in this direction with velocity v2. These v1 and v2 are velocities of ball and block respectively with respect to ground. So v1 and v2 are with respect to ground. Now in this system, or in this combined system, so we consider this combined system, small m and capital M, as our system, and we will see the forces. So we consider the system as small m and capital M together. Then you'll find in this system, you will find no force acting in the x direction, which will imply that linear momentum conservation in x direction is feasible with respect to ground. Now, what is the final linear momentum you are going to get? Like, final linear momentum is going to be capital M v2 minus small m v1. What was the initial? Initial was 0. So that is linear momentum conservation equation. Moreover, we can go for mechanical energy conservation. So we go for mechanical energy conservation between the horizontal position and this last position. Mechanical energy conservation will say this mgh gravitational potential energy went into the kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy involved half capital M V2 square plus half small m V1 square. Now these two equations are very important for us. Now by solving these two equations we can find V1 and V2. Then we can find V. Then we can find tensile force. This is how we can solve the question. Now to solve these two equations, what we can do is we can find out the V1 from this in terms of V2, or V2 in terms of V1, can substitute over here. So let's write it like it's going to be mgh is equal to, let's find out this V2 and substitute V2 in terms of V1. So that's going to be half m V2 square. V2 could be written as small m V1 divided by capital M, square of it, plus half small m V1 square. If you look carefully, then you'll find on the right hand side we can have a V1 square as a common, and this will help us to find out V1 ultimately. So this could further be rewritten as 1 capital M is getting cancelled out, and this is going to be small m square, so it's going to like half small m V1 square is a common. Within the bracket you are going to get a small m left over upside and capital M downside. So we settle them, so small m plus capital M divided by capital M. This is what it is going to be. So from here ultimately we are able to find V1 square. So how much the V1 square is? This V1 square is, you will find 1m is settling down, so it's like twice capital M GH divided by capital M plus small m. This is how we can get V1 square. And if we need to find V2 or V2 square, so V2 could be written as small m V1 times divided by capital M. So this is going to give us V1, then we can substitute V1 over it, we will get V2. Now what about this V? V is the relative velocity. So if we use this relative velocity, so we can say V is relative velocity, and it's going to be relative to the blocks, it's going to be equal to V1 plus V2. V1 plus V2. Now let's put the V1 and V2. V1 is, let's say V1, V2 is small m V1 divided by capital M. Basically it's like capital M plus small m divided by capital M into V1. We can substitute V1 as well. So this relative velocity comes out to be capital M plus small m divided by capital M V1. So that's going to be square root of twice capital M GH divided by capital M plus small m. Further simplification will take this inside. Once we take it inside, then you'll find this will be square and will settle once. So once it will be left, this will become again square, so settle once. So it's going to be under root twice capital M plus small m times GH divided by capital M. So this is what the relative velocity is, which we require over here. Now hence Tmax. So hence we can write the maximum tensile force is going to be equal to mg, small mg plus small m by L into V square. Now square of V is going to be this number. So we can write it as like twice capital M plus small m into G, and what about this H? Here H is involved, right? What this H is? So we have considered this as H. H is equal to L. So wherever we have written H, we can replace it by L. So H is equal to L. So we are using H as L in the question. So I'm writing this as L. So it's going to be like G into L divided by capital M. Then you'll find this L and L will get cancelled out. Yes. And you can take a small mg as a common. within the bracket you are going to get like 1 plus, and you will find from here this small m has gone, g is gone, so it's going to be twice capital M plus small m divided by capital M. This could be further simplified, right? So if you divide by this capital M, that will cancel out, it will be 2, so 2 plus 1 is 3, so it's going to like small mg within the bracket 3 plus twice small m by capital M. This is going to be the value of maximum tension, and that's what the question is desiring or asking for. So basically this will become your expression for the answer. So how we have solved it? We have used the vertical circular motion concept and found Tmax at the bottommost point. Then how to get the relative velocity at the bottommost point? For that matter, we have used this linear momentum conservation and mechanical energy conservation. We sorted out for V1 and V2. Then relative velocity was V1 plus V2. Then we simplified, we got our answer. Okay, thank you.